Yo, it's your boy MAF, man. I'm on the Let's Connect podcast.
Oh, we live? We live? Let's Connect Podcast. Let's connect.
Track smokers.
Born in '88, built through adversity. The Foundation Collection, a crown hat fit for a king. Whether you're in the shop, running through the neighborhood, or watching your favorite podcast, 88er brand is the standard and has something for everyone. Go to www.88erbrand.com to join the movement and tell them Let's Connect sent you. 88er brand.
What's good? It's your guy Les with the Let's Connect podcast, and we back with a special guest. We got MAF.
What's good, man? What's good?
What's good, man?
Yo, I'm glad to be here, brother. Like, I'm excited, man. This is really dope. This is really nice. We about to make some magic, man.
Nah, that's a fact. So let's start from the beginning, right? For the people who don't know your story, who's MAF?
MAF is born and raised Syracuse, New York, south side of Syracuse, New York. Always been into music my whole life. I've been rapping since I was like 6 years old. I had an older female cousin that taught me how to rap. When I was real young, I had cousins that was older than her at the time that was in the streets getting money. So they was basically putting money behind her, trying to push her. So, I was being in the studio as like a little kid. So where everybody just think, I've been doing this for a long time. My pops was a DJ. So, you know what I mean? Just a kid growing up in Syracuse, always loved the music. Was outside getting into trouble with my friends. We'll leave it at that. Just a typical Syracuse story for the most part. You know what I mean? Growing up in the hood.
So for young MAF, right? Who were some of the artists that you were listening to back in the day?
To be honest with you, like growing up on my block, you know what I mean, on Matson, like we was listening to everything. So we was listening to what the traditional East Coast. So, we got our Bigs, we got our Nas's, we got our Jay-Z's. We got the Mobb Deeps and all of that. But we was also listening to No Limit. We was listening to Cash Money. We was big on Ghetto Boy, Scarface. We loved the shit out of Tupac. You know what I mean? So my ear was all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, my pops was a DJ, so he also playing everything. He's copying everything. He ain't just limiting his ear to just East Coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when Outkast came out, he getting anything that new was coming out, he was getting all the music. So my ear and my range was like all over the place.
Nah, that's fire, bro. Having a dad as a DJ,
That
that definitely probably made your musical catalog.
Yeah, that's where I get my love for the music from, to be honest. Like, you know what I mean, my pops, you going in his man cave today, bro, and it's vinyl. He got a DJ booth. It's vinyl everywhere, cassette tapes. Like somebody go down there and be blown away by his music collection. So that's where the love for me come from.
Now, did you want to be a DJ early on because Pops was?
I always wanted to rap.
Always wanted to rap?
Oh, because it was like I just said, I'm a little kid watching my older female relative write. You know what I'm saying? I'm going in the attic of her crib. You know what I mean? Like I said, my older peoples was getting money, so you got to think they buying $3,000 and $5,000 keyboards, Tritons and shit back in that time, MPC. So all I ever seen first was, in front of me was the MC. You know what I mean? So I always wanted to rap.
Oh, that's fire. So musically, like, who are some of those early on, like, you know what I mean? Like people that you would like try to like mimic. Like for me,
Prodigy.
Prodigy.
Prodigy was the first rapper that I patterned my style and my flow from so much that when I got older and actually started like getting in the booth, you know what I mean? My older people started putting me in the studio. They're like, yo, you sound too much like Prodigy. You know what I mean? So my older people told me, said, go home and I want you to pick 5 artists and pick one thing from each one of the artists that you like and put it all together, and that'll be a style. So that's what I did.
Yo, do you think though having that like, cause like that's a mindset that I think would have saved me some time, like musically, right? Like having like you said, like the writers, the DJs, like
right.
That definitely had to be like an advantage to even put you in that mind state.
Yeah, and I always, that's why I always mention and I always give it props, because if my pops wasn't a DJ and I wasn't always hearing all of this music in the crib, I wouldn't have the ear for music the way that I have. If I didn't have an older female cousin that was nice, bro, she was nice as fuck. If I didn't have her and me watching her write and me trying to outright her, you know what I mean? I'm a kid trying to outrhyme her, and she'll make me spit my little raps, and then she'll just blow me out the frame, you know what I'm saying? But she was giving me something to aspire to and work too young. Then again, I'm sitting in the studio as a kid watching them work. They let me mess around and play with something once in a blue moon, but for the most part, I was just sitting there watching. So these things helped shape and molded me, you know what I'm saying? When I became a teenager and I started getting in the studio, like, it was even to the point where I come to the studio and they like, yeah, you're not getting in the booth this week. And I'm like, fuck you mean I ain't getting in the booth? They're like, yeah, you gotta read this book. I gotta read this book. Man, I ain't reading no fucking book. I'm gone. I'll go to the block. Man, fuck these niggas talking about. I ain't reading no fucking book. I'm in the hood for a few days. Mad as fuck. Cousin pull up on me. He make beats and shit. He pull up on me. Yo, listen to the shit I just made. Play some fire. I'm like, damn, that shit dope. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You read that book? Oh, man, shit, you can't come to the booth, nigga. You pull up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So eventually I sat my eyes down and started reading the book. And, like, within the book, it told me to come and actually get in the studio. They wrote so far in the book, come act, because now we know you ain't read it, because if you read it, you'd have came, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so all of these things help shape me beyond just rapping. You know what I mean? So I was taught how to run a studio. I was taught how to edit music. I was taught a lot more than just rapping. So that's why when it comes to this music shit and niggas be trying to like compete, and I just be looking like, all right.
Yeah.
I've really got an advantage over y'all that y'all really don't know. Like, I'm really a child of this shit. You know what I mean? My history, like, even we get to talking about music, I start going back. You know what I'm saying? Shit that people don't know about. Like, I really love this music shit, bro.
Yeah, and what it sounds like, too, is that they were kind of giving you artist development before, and that's something that this new generation is lacking, man.
And this is why the showcase is a showcase, because I just realized, like, yo, my city is full of talent, but they stagnant because they just don't know what they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I was blessed enough to be exposed to different things instead of just rapping.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But somebody over here who got the talent and got the love for it, again, we not coming from a city where Nas came out of the city, and we didn't grow up seeing it. We seen it on TV. We seen it at afar. We never seen it up close. So technically, if we want to be real about it, we only seen 20%. The 20% is entertainment. 80% is a business. So we running and trying to accomplish a goal and trying to complete a task with only 20% of the information. And we can't figure out why we can't surpass, or we can't grow, or we can't break through, is because we missing the other 80%. Yeah. If it wasn't for them, I would be the same way. You know what I mean? I was bucking against it. I ain't read, what the fuck am I reading this book for? I'm nice. I ain't gotta read no book. Fuck. Not knowing that the stuff that I would read would help me outside of the booth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The stuff that I was reading helped me understand when I'm in the booth, when I'm in these videos and I'm on the stage, be a rapper. When you not in those positions, take that hat off. It's time for you to be a CEO. It's time for you to be a manager. It's time for you to wear other hats for the time being until you either can fulfill those jobs with somebody else. But you got to be that right now. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have that understanding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it definitely was. And that's what I feel like we miss in the city. And right now, it's like it's crunch time. You know what I mean? It's a very vital time for Upstate, period. So it's like, you know, whatever we missing or whatever we lacking, we can't live off those excuses no more. You know what I mean? We in the information age. We can learn whatever the fuck we need to learn. Like, what are you putting your time in? Like, the best thing that could have ever happened is the fucking smartphone. But the smartphone ain't a smartphone if you're using it on some stupid shit. So let's empower ourselves. Let's educate ourselves. Let's learn. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I'm definitely trying to help build the city. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't no selfish nigga, bro. I peep what's going on. It's gonna take more than just one person.
Yeah. That's the truth. And I think that's now why Upstate in general is getting like the spotlight that it's getting. Because I think that you could relate, like when we were coming up maybe, 10, 15 years ago, it kind of was a lot more separation, right? Everyone had their little cliques, and even though we came together, it was still those cliques. It wasn't
Right.
like the unity. Now, like when we go to showcases like your showcase,
Right.
or when they throw the shows at Funk and Waffles, you got maybe 3 or 4 people out there filming.
Facts.
You got room full of creators.
Facts.
And it feels so refreshing because, like you said, that's what it takes. It takes the collaboration to bring the awareness, because we don't have the number like cities like New York City or LA.
Right.
Naturally, someone from New York City, they could be a smaller rapper, but when you got a population of 8 million people.
I just was talking to the homie straight through about this yesterday, and I said, yo, bro, niggas don't understand the numbers. Everybody look at like, well, Atlanta this and LA that, but y'all not understanding the numbers. Atlanta has millions of people. And I can speak for Atlanta because I lived in Atlanta for 8 years. I moved to Atlanta in like 01. You know what I'm saying? So I was there when Atlanta became what it is today. What people don't know about Atlanta is this. Atlanta don't fuck with you from the ground up. You gonna get some of Atlanta to fuck with you, a small little amount, but they gotta run out of Macon, they gotta run to Augusta, they gotta run to Alabama. They run and do that little circuit, build their shit up. Then the rest of Atlanta fucks with them. So even they gotta juke the numbers by going to other places to pick up the momentum. But if we here, and this is why, like, niggas in the town, I love Syracuse. Like, I love where I'm from. I really do, wholeheartedly. Anywhere I've ever been, people will tell you, out west, Rochester, Buffalo, Philly, anywhere I've ever went to, I wear this shit and I carry it with honor and respect. But we have to expand our minds beyond Syracuse. You know what I'm saying? To the point of, let's break it down. And I'm glad that you just said the numbers, right? It's only 150,000 people in Syracuse. It's actually like a little under 100. I think it's like 140 something, like 149, 147, right? So let's just say 150, right? If we just sat here and said 8 million or this, that, and the third, and they able to pull 50,000, whatever out, like, you know the difference in that number? Mm-hmm. So now if we sit here saying 150,000, what the fuck number is that? 500? You know what I'm saying? Maybe 1,000? You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So this is where, when the whole little bullshit started, and I think it was like the little comedian dudes, little comedian kids in Syracuse start going against the little comedian dudes out in Rochester, and it turned into this whole little Rochester versus Syracuse thing. They even created a page, this, that, and the third. And, people know me to be outspoken and talk shit. So people hit me like, yo, we need you to jump in this group. And I'm like, yo, bro, Rochester niggas just helped me go on tour. Rochester niggas plugged me with a Rochester artist. Shout out to Ito. Ito was looking for a new artist to take on tour. Rochester artist was tagging a Syracuse artist because I was going out there pulling up to their shows, showing love, shaking hands. They never heard no music. They finally, like, one day I just came in. It was like, yo, bro, you want to perform? I'm like, yeah. Yo, we going to put you on the next show. I performed. They fell in love with the music. They just started fucking with me. They could have co-signed anybody from their town. They co-signed this kid from Syracuse. Ito allows me to go on this tour with him, you know what I'm saying? So when this bullshit going, I'm like, I'm not getting into this dumbass shit. Yeah, I'm already seeing a Griselda thing going on. Y'all don't even see this shit coming. Cause again, we going out to Buffalo. We tapped into we see all of this shit happening. Y'all don't even see this shit happening. Upstate is about to be the thing. This petty ass differences, we can't afford that because it drops the fucking numbers. So now, Albany is 100,000. Syracuse is 150. Rochester is 2. Buffalo is 250. So damn near every stop it jumps 50,000, right? Now, if you combine all of those numbers together, we damn near close to 1 million. We still don't break 1 million. But it's much better than 150,000. It's much better than 250. It's much better than 200. It's much better than 100. And that's what niggas got to understand now. We can break 1 million if we combine all the smaller cities around the mid-sized cities. So now we got Niagara Falls. We got the other spots up there around Buffalo. We got Geneva. We got Lyons. We got all those spots over there around Rochester. We got Auburn. We got, you know what I'm saying? Cortland. We got all these spots around Syracuse. You got Troy, Schenectady, around Albany. Now, if we add all of them in, we definitely pushing past 1 million.
Yeah.
This is why I'm advocating for this upstate shit. It's deeper than what motherfuckers could realize and ever understand. And again, we ain't never had it. We never had a moment. We never had this shit going on. So even some of us can't even recognize what they seeing and what's going on. But I know what I'm seeing, and I know what the fuck is going on. And when this moment passes, we need to be solidified, or we're gonna miss the fucking wave, bro.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss the wave. So I'm glad that you said that about the numbers, bro.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Now, I know that you recently transitioned from, music to kind of like getting into a promoter. And I know you still make music.
Right.
But now you kind of, are wearing multiple hats. You got the promoter hat on.
Right.
And started throwing your show series. Talk us through that.
So I've been had this idea of doing, and it's kind of goes back into the story. Every month when I was going out to Rochester and Buffalo, they was doing these underground hip hop shows once a month. So I just was pulling up, networking this and the third. And I'm like, yo, it would be dope to have something like this in my city. And then, of course, they like, yo, y'all ain't got, like, we want to come out there and rock. You know what I mean? So I was trying to create something then at the time, but I couldn't get a good enough venue. So the only venue that was like worthy of was Funk and Waffles. But at that particular time, they wasn't really fucking with me. Unfortunately, I think the last Upstate Heat, a situation wound up happening. And then from there, they kind of like wasn't really fucking with the hip hop scene. They only was dealing with this one kid and whoever he vouched for. So for whatever reason, nothing ever came about it. So the ideal just kind of sat. One of my peoples at King's, like, asked me, like, yo, we want to start doing these shows, like, for local hip-hop. It's a lot of talent here, da-da-da-da. We want to give, everybody a spot to kind of come and do their thing. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I started explaining to them how to do the shows. And, in the midst of me explaining to the homie, like, how to do the shows, he like, bro, I really just want you to do the shit, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, then just say that, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. So we sat down, we talked. I told him about this idea and this vision that I've been had. And when I fed it to him, he just was like, yo, let's do it. And that's just been the push of it since, man. My showcase is based around giving an equal shot for people to be heard, because again, love my city, but it's just a lot of politics. and we don't realize that we suffocate and we starve ourselves by being so small-minded and so limited view. You know what I mean? So, you know, if everybody ain't fucking with you, ain't mentioning your name, then I ain't fucking with you. So you telling me that you need everybody to go out with you to go shopping? You don't know how to pick out nice clothes on your own? You need so because if you can't tell me that you can't hear good music on your own, so you might as well need everybody else to tell you what everything was good as well. So it's just like, yo, let's get off the bandwagon shit. It's not helping us grow. It's stagnating the fuck out of everything that we got because we are limiting ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So the showcase allows people who are seriously doing their music, seriously pursuing it, to be heard. So if it's last show I had Swirly, one of the biggest artists right now in the town with the biggest momentum that he like right now. You know what I'm saying? And I got, you know, another artist like Tim Raps on it. You know what I'm saying? Where Tim ain't necessarily known to the level of a Swirly, but if you was to throw him in a lineup, his music wouldn't disappoint you. His music is just as good. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we gotta change. We need to load the motherfucking deck up as much as possible because it's gonna take more. It's gonna take more than just one. It's gonna take more than 3 hot motherfuckers or 5 hot motherfuckers. It's gonna take a real strong push. We don't know who might be the person to break out and bring the true attention here to Syracuse. So this is where I'm taking my rapper hat off and I'm putting my CEO hat on. I'm putting on my marketing hat where it ain't gotta be me. It might be one of these young boys around here. It might be one of these young ladies around here that might be the one to crack the door open truly and bring it to Syracuse. You know what I'm saying? Not you've made it and you mentioned Syracuse in an interview. Nah, bring it to Syracuse. You know what I mean? We need that. So my showcase is about helping give that opportunity for everybody to be seen and be heard. Ain't none of the bullshit, none of that. If you nice and you good and you dope, let's go. I'm gonna put you in a lineup with some big dogs. I'm gonna put you up with some mid-tier motherfuckers. I want somebody that's a no name. I want somebody that don't nobody know, ain't nobody never heard of. Let me get 1 or 2 of them and throw them in a lineup. And if you can't tell me that there's a drastic difference in the quality of music and art, then what I'm doing is I'm breaking y'all mentality and opening y'all minds up. Like, we really do got some shit here. These other people elsewhere ain't that much greater or better than us. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we just got to support what's here and know what to do with it.
Now, I definitely want to like let you know I agree with you, right? Because artists like Stove God Cooks,
Right.
back when we think about, like I said, the circuit maybe 10, 15 years ago,
Right.
we knew about Stove God back when he was, I think his name was A-Train.
A-Train.
Like he was known,
Right.
but not to the extent of the guy that would like blow on the level that he's.
Right.
And that's important, right? Like you said,
Right.
providing that platform because you don't know. Honestly, there's probably a few names that I probably thought would have blew
Right.
over, you know what I mean, Stove God.
Right.
Even though Stove God has always been fire.
Right.
Always been fire.
And that's a perfect example. That nigga wasn't mentioned on the top 5. Every time he top 5, Syracuse did it, his name wasn't mentioned. So that's a perfect example of what I'm saying. We are suffocating our own growth, being one-track minded, being on some bandwagon shit like, oh, ain't nobody and I'm telling you what I experienced, bro. When I dropped my motherfuckers, I've been doing music dinner my whole life. Family members, homies, this, that, and the third. It took for them to see other people fucking with me and treating me like an artist and niggas coming up to me, talking to me, and niggas want my CD and then it was like, oh shit. And then it like the shift came. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, like we got too much talent here. And the way things haven't been helping us. Shit gotta change.
Yeah.
And if right now, like, we ain't got no choice. It's just a pivotal time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, right? So my opinion here might be the unpopular opinion, especially because I do believe that nobody owes you nothing, but I also don't want to like take it away, because one thing that really gets me tight is when I watch like the news, and as soon as Post Malone touches down and goes to the dinosaur barbecue, it's Post Malone, the rapper from Syracuse. As soon as Tootsie has some type of engagement with Syracuse rapper Tootsie, but yet you got a whole city full of talent.
Yeah.
A whole city full of, I personally wrote Syracuse.com when I won the Sammys back in 2019. And for the people watching, it's a Syracuse Area Music Award, right? So, I was proud. I'm like, let me write the news, see if there's a way that I could get some type of recognition or just, do a business deal. Heard nothing back, and it for so long it did make me tight. But then I started seeing a change with like rappers like 315 Cash.
Right.
And shout out to my guy, because he actually broke the barrier. I was like, yo, I was proud of you,
with
bro.
The
like,
SU shit and all of that.
The SU, even the news.
Yeah.
He had a performance in the news. Now we got the parade plug. So, I'm glad now. Like, I don't want to dwell on the past, but I'm happy now.
Right.
That they're starting to realize that we need, because it takes a village.
Right. But see, the thing about it is, what you saying is it's not hate, it's not malice. This is the fucking mountain and a roadblock that has been placed in front of us. You know what I'm saying? Because now what we're going to, outside of the music shit, we could talk about the structure of the city. You know what I'm saying? And the structure of the city has never been designed to aid our community, let alone our sound of music. Think about the radio station. We ain't got no radio station no more. You know what I'm saying? Everything that goes on in Syracuse is tailored to the university, the white community. Like, we're just allowed to participate, but it ain't really for us. You know what I mean? So in a situation like what you just explained, Post Malone is a rare situation. Tootsie is a rare situation. Tootsie had to leave to get the launch that he had. He had to go somewhere where the resources was to go up. Post Malone was born here, I guess spent some time here, but then he was raised somewhere else. But they take claim for his success, right? But within, they're not creating anything to blossom from the world that we come from. You know what I mean? So this is another reason why me saying like the numbers and the connecting, we don't have a luxury to be fighting with neighboring cities. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a luxury because we don't have it here, bro. Buffalo got their own Shade 4-5 station. They don't have to go to New York City.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm here to talk that shit. The voice of Upstate is right here. I'm claiming that name.
Let's go.
Buffalo has their own Shade 4-5 station. They don't have to go to New York City to be on Shade 4-5. Rochester has their own hip hop station, but more importantly, all the shows and everything that goes on in Rochester. Syracuse niggas can vouch for this. How often niggas run over to Rochester to go see big artists? All the time. Well, there's also underground shows and other things going on as well. So they even have their own thing going on. You got, if I'm not mistaken, I think the kid Live from the Gutter, which is like a media outlet. If I'm not mistaken, he's supposed to be from Rochester. So now here it is. You have an outlet. These are outlets to go outside of their city. We don't have that here. So now what Syracuse.com is doing is Syracuse.com wants to take credit for a Syracuse native. That success didn't come from Syracuse because it's not set up for us to be successful here. They're a rare situation. So now you got an artist such as yourself who say, yo, I just won a Sammy Award. I'm from Syracuse. I'm in Syracuse. I did this in Syracuse. Y'all should pull up, interview me, and talk to me about my success and what I got going on. And it's like crickets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we even got that we up against. And people don't realize, like, this shit is a real thing. You know what I mean? Again, they'll look at, it's Chicago and Atlanta doing it, because you get the hate too. Like, people get the down talking us trying to do music like it's a joke. You know what I mean? I never forget, not too long ago, some dude was in a barbershop ranting and some Syracuse shit about, niggas need to stop rapping, this, that, and the third. And it's like, yo, who the fuck is you to say who to stop doing art?
Yeah.
And stop doing something that they love. Like, we're breaking down barriers. Mm-hmm. Every generation is breaking down a barrier. You want to go all the way back to I think it was like they called themselves the Wolf Pack, but Seth Marcel and them had a group in the early 90s. Now imagine 10 years later or something or whatever, you got the whole Q's DVD and you got Felony Set and all of them doing their thing. Could you imagine a growth that Seth and them seen just from that?
Yeah. Now
go from that DVD era and YouTube era, the beginning with Felony Set and Love and Loyalty and all that other shit. Every couple years has been growth.
Yeah.
To now, just what we was just talking about. Just so many years ago when we was doing this, all this content shit wasn't a thing. Mm-hmm. It's always exceeding growth. And if we just take the advice that's given by a motherfucker who ain't never wrote a song before, and we just stop, right? Then we definitely ain't gonna never get nowhere. It would definitely never happen for the town or for Syracuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gotta start somewhere. It's gotta take something. So yeah, man, we gotta just keep pushing and keep going. But that's another thing that we up against that nobody ever talks about and realize. It's no launch pads here, bro. This is what this showcase is also about. I got an artist coming from Schenectady this next show.
Nice.
I got an artist coming from Rochester this next show. I'm trying to get other people to come here as well. It's not just a Syracuse showcase. Mm-hmm. I need other artists to pull up. You want to know why? Because now Syracuse artists can network with them. And now you could get out there. They got shows and shit going on there as well. This is what this shit is about. It's about networking. It's about moving around. It's the only way you're going to break out from staying local. Yeah. You got to get the fuck out. You can't just be nice and rapping and sitting in the town and you ain't doing shit. You just nice and rapping and you think you got to move around. You got to shake hands and meet people, and you know what I'm saying? And this is the business side of it. What you gonna wait until you're in front of 50 Cent and then you just gonna get it all together then? Nah, practice makes perfect, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact. Like, and I always said, right, and we kind of had this conversation off air about how it's been a few years and I'm like, dang, like not too much stuff moved me. It's because I keep seeing the same people do the same thing, right? Like how many times can you perform at Funkin' Waffles and get excited about it? Right. You know what I mean? Especially when you have a promoter that's not, like you said, doing what you're doing. What you're doing is different because you're outsourcing. Right. You're bringing people together. You're uniting the state, right? You know, and beyond, right. You know? And that's important for, right? It's networking, sharpening your. But like, you can't sit there and keep doing an open mic, and then in front of the same 5 people, right? All the people that's showing up are all rappers, and then you get on Facebook and be like, "Yo, man, I don't know why I ain't getting no love, blah blah blah." It's because nobody knows who you are.
Nobody know because you're not putting in the work. You're not putting yourself out there. And I'm sorry to say this, but this is another mountain that certain artists or people in Syracuse got to climb over. Motherfuckers talk that shit about wanting to be big and all this other noise. Cool, fine, that sounds great. But ain't too many motherfuckers really want to get in the ocean. They want to be a big fish in a pond. I always say niggas want to be the king of Onondaga County. I don't want to fucking be the king of Onondaga. That shit free. That shit is free as fuck. That's a bunch of mentions on social media, on Facebook. It's a bunch of, shares locally. That shit is free as fuck. A lot of artists really don't want to be around the ones really doing it because they don't really have the confidence. They don't really believe that they're good enough. So as long as I stay in this little bubble over here, you know, I'm confident. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a cousin, bro. I had a cousin. This nigga was nice as fucking ball, bro. I mean, like, people used to pull up to get him to go take him to play ball, bet money on him in the hood, da-da-da. He was offered like a free scholarship to go. I was either Bishop Ludden or CBA, and this is like mid-90s, like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, like, nice as fuck. I looked up to him. Like, I played ball, I was nice, but I wasn't fucking with him. He told me a story about how they took him down to New York City, and they wanted him to play for somebody, some coach. They was trying to get him to go to some school or some shit. And he's watching these dudes play ball in New York City, and he was intimidated, and he didn't play. And I couldn't wrap my head around that shit. Because I'm like, nigga, you nice as fuck. What you mean? Like, he like, yo, And it wasn't until years later with the music shit that I started seeing, when I started talking that, doing this shit on this or going here, let's da-da-da-da, and then people start making excuses, and I started realizing niggas is scared to jump in the ocean, bro. You just want to be a big fish in a pond. Nah, fuck that. Put me where the great whites at, bro. Put me where the big ass squids at. Put me by the Loch Ness Monster. Put me out there with that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. If I could swim with them, then I know I'm meant to be in this motherfucker. If I ain't meant to, then yeah, I'm gonna get out there. I ain't gonna make it. Yeah. But we not about to sit here and play with this shit, bro. Like, I performed in Philly on Benny's Plugs I Met tour. I'm in the back at a round table. You know, we kind of got there early to do a little sound check or whatever, and we were supposed to go to our hotel, change, and come back. But I'm telling like the people, I'm like, yo, bro, we ain't gonna make it to the hotel and make it back. Like, I used to work down here in Philly. Like, the fucking traffic gonna be crazy. So we had to change in the parking lot. So we just there early. Mm-hmm. So, you know, people start rolling in. 38 Special come in, Conway come in, Gilly the Kid was there. It's a kid named Shooter that's on Instagram. He be doing like a lot of motivational shit now, but he's an artist. He was there. Like, all of these dudes is pulling up, and they sitting in the back, bro. And ironically, where we sat at like this round table. Conway is like next to me, Special sitting across from me, like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas just sitting here chilling, waiting to do their thing. And I'm like, yo, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. Fuck that. I ain't nervous. I ain't scared. I'm supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? And we got a cameraman with us. And every act that went on, when they first would go on, the whole room would get quiet. And there's mad niggas back here, bro. I think Dutch and Spade was in the back. Like, it's just mad niggas there because we in Philly.
Yeah.
Whoever the new artists that go to perform, they get quiet and listen. And niggas would be like, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? Because it's all new acts.
Yeah.
We go out there, we do our thing. Cameraman that was with us stayed in a room to see what the reaction was. And the reaction was good. They was fucking with what we did. But just at the end of the day, that's gonna be the separation. A lot of niggas is playing with this shit. They ain't serious about this shit. Mm-hmm. They don't really want this shit. Jump in the motherfucking ocean. Give a fuck about I used to, and there's people who can vouch for this shit. I used to inbox people when I got mentioned a few times, not a lot, but I would get mentioned when the whole top 5 going. Niggas would mention my name. I used to inbox some niggas like, yo, bro, I appreciate the love. Don't add my name on that shit. I'm focused on becoming underground. I don't care about being local. I'm about to focus on underground and breaking out, you know what I'm saying? And I wind up accomplishing that goal, you know what I'm saying? But that's another thing that people don't realize that is an issue. All of this complaining and crying that motherfuckers is doing, they ain't really want to do this shit. You don't really want to get in front of them. Put me in the middle of your top fucking 5 that you feel is the greatest. Where put me right in the middle of the cipher with them. I'm a whole mind. Fuck that shit. Yeah, let's go. This is what I've been looking for. Because if it ain't that, then why you playing with it? Get it the fuck out the way. We don't want to hear you cry and complain about the shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you lose in Madden, you don't go to Facebook and rant about it because you're not a professional Madden player playing in $1 million tournaments and all this shit. It's just something you do for fun. So, okay, if you're doing the music just for fun, shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear that shit neither. Yo, niggas ain't support niggas. Niggas ain't supposed to.
Right. Because
you ain't really serious about this shit. But if you is serious about this shit, then I can respect your effort. I can respect your attempts. And that's the reason why you should get certain looks or you should get certain information that can help you out. I'm only helping a nigga that's helping himself.
And that's the important thing, what you said, bro, because like even in this space where I'm at, right? I always say I'm not the best podcaster. Like, you know, I'm learning as I go. But one thing I will claim, bro, is I work hard. Yo. Whether I'm at work, whether I'm home, if I'm not posting, I'm watching a video. Yeah. I'm downloading a new software. I'm updating a new piece. Like I started back in September, bro.
In
September.
Ooh.
Bro, season one. And I took 2 months off. Season 1, 20 episodes in. Season 2, right now we're season 2. This will probably be episode 9. And I just started season 1, I want to say maybe February. PB Mogul, shout out PB Mogul, Utica, New York. He was episode 1, bro. Like, but I always say, if you want to be successful, right, it don't matter what the outlet or the channel is, right? Because music taught me, like you said, how to be a CEO, a businessman, a marketer. So I said, you know what? I got to use these tools that I got. But the passion that I got to be successful makes me insane. Like, I wake up, I drink, I can't even sleep sometimes.
Yo, but that's what it is. That because it's in you. It's you're aligned with your purpose, bro. And what you did was you found a way to pivot and take the same talents and skills that you use and you're using them in a slightly different way. And actually it's like, oh shit, this shit's easier.
Yeah.
Cause this is another thing. Motherfuckers don't understand how much it goes into making a fucking song. So I'ma sit and listen to umpteen fucking beats until I find one fucking beat. Then I'ma take that beat and I gotta think of an original song, a hook, how I'ma rap on it, how I'ma flow on it. That shit take a fucking lot. Y'all get 3-5 minutes of a song and it take a fucking lot. Not to mention recording, not to mention the money being spent on the shit. I'm spending money to put out a fucking song and I hope you motherfuckers like it. It takes a lot. So for you to pivot over here and move into this space, you done chop down a majority of the fucking work. You could run through this shit easy because shit, I already been doing most of this shit as a rapper. I understand this shit I understand the mechanics of it behind the camera because it's the same shit. I'm damn near doing the same thing just in a different form. Yeah. And I see it, bro. I see it. I said, oh, he ain't bullshitting. When I was seeing the footage and the clips and when you showed up with the camera, I said, oh, yeah, he ain't bullshitting. To see this setup, yeah, he ain't bullshitting. This right here is going to be very, very big, bro. So them nights that you sitting up and you can't sleep and you getting frustrated or whatever the case may be, you dealing with life shit. We were supposed to have did this, a week or so ago, and you know,
car broke down,
life shit happened, and it was like, bro, take care of what you got to take care of. We're going to get it done. But at the end of the day, all this shit is going to be worth it because what happens is you staying persistent and consistent enough, it's got to happen for you. It ain't luck. You're just creating the shit for yourself. You creating a win for yourself. Yeah, I ain't about to fail. And I'm going to tell you another thing that I know you did without you even saying it because I did the same shit. when I was looking into getting into the editing and all other shit, I wouldn't force myself to buy a camera because I know if I bought the camera, I'm going to want to make my money back. It was going to make me sit my ass down and learn the shit.
That's a fact.
I had too much going on. I'm rapping, working, I'm hustling, I'm running around in the streets. I was doing too much. I started looking into this shit on YouTube, and they start talking about fucking ISO and all. I'm like, what the fuck is all of this shit? So I'm like, hold on. So I gotta learn how to use the camera itself before I even get it into. I'm just thinking I'm just gonna shoot the camera, edit. Editing gonna be easy. It's just like mixing music. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
No, nigga, you gotta learn how to use these fucking cameras. So I'm reading all of these verbiage and shit. I don't understand what they talking about. Then I'm watching the videos. The white dude explaining it, making it sound even more difficult than what the fuck it was. I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, man, I ain't about to be bothered with this shit. I sat there and thought about it, and I said, go spend $1,500 on this damn camera. If you go spend that money on this camera, you're going to sit your monkey ass down and figure this shit out. So I see the investment, bro. I see what you're doing, and I already know that that's the same energy. So just keep pushing, bro. Like, even what we doing right now, shit, we going to look back at this interview right here, and we going to fucking laugh one day because it's all in the works.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's God's plan, bro.
Nah, and that leads me to my next point, man. Like, there's never the right time. So it's like, for anybody out there that has a dream or a vision, but they like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna get to it. Yo, there's no right time.
No.
When I started off, I started off with nothing. But like you said, I put myself in those positions to be uncomfortable. I'm like, yo, I got a family to feed. Like, I can't lose. I just spent this money. I just maxed out this card. Like, yo, I gotta win. Gotta win. But that's what you need. You gotta be in an uncomfortable situation to break through, to be successful.
But see, you know what that's about, bro? To go deeper, people don't realize is this is when faith comes into playing, because a lot of dreams never get a chance to come to life. A lot of opportunities get missed because motherfuckers talk themselves out of it because you don't see it. You know what I mean? You don't trust what you can't touch or can't. Instead of just do what the fuck you supposed to do what's in your control, and the things that's out of your control, have faith that God gonna do whatever's left. You know what I'm saying? He whatever you missing, he gonna somehow bring it to you. Whatever resource you lack, and somehow you gonna bump into somebody. It's like, oh, yo, you know my man do. Get the fuck out of here. But that's where having faith and moving legs. I'm moving. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and the things that's supposed to happen and come into play will. I just gotta believe that it's gonna work out. But I could just easily sit here with still legs and talk myself out of it and never let it happen. And then what? It never comes to, you know what I'm saying? And then here's the funny thing about this shit, right? Those of us who decide to move forward and push through, we get hated on for having faith, having the confidence, moving forward by the motherfuckers who had the same opportunities and chose not to. How the fuck you hate me because you chose to go against what was destined for you or your purpose, or you told yourself no? I ain't telling myself no. Motherfucker got to tell me no. I'm not telling myself no. I'm not talking myself out of nothing. What's meant for me is going to be meant for me. And even to the point of looking at shit like a loss. I don't look at shit like a loss. It's a lesson. I'm figuring this shit out. I'm going to get it right somehow. If I fuck around and get it wrong 50 times, and then the 51st time I get it right, all I got to do is duplicate that shit 10,000 times. We Gucci, baby. You know what I mean? And this is what motherfuckers don't understand about this shit beyond just the music. Like you just said, yo, I got a family to feed. I maxed out this credit card. That's betting on yourself. You can't lose when you bet on yourself. All you can do is learn, grow, improve, and keep moving forward. And you know what I mean? He see what you doing. He see the intent in your heart and the energy. Everything gonna work itself out, bro. So this right here, this shit is about to be one of the biggest things to come out of this city. And you don't even realize this, my nigga. You're a part of upstate history. It's just so early. You're a part of history. You just said something about an artist from Utica. Didn't you just have an artist from Watertown?
Yeah.
Okay, boom. This shit ain't gonna do nothing but keep progressively growing. And you're going to become a stable in this region, this area. You're gonna become that guy in this space. I tell the homie Boogie the same thing with Valor TV.
Shout out Valor TV.
Y'all are going to be those things because y'all are the first one, and number two, y'all taking this shit serious. Y'all trying to get in the ocean. Y'all want to see the great whites. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? So all this shit gonna work out, bro.
Yeah, and I definitely got to shout out Evolution Studios and the Buffalo Experience podcast. I got them coming out here Friday too.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was pretty excited about that one. 'Cause I'm not gonna lie, on the music tip, and I think that is so smart, and I'm glad that is a part of your history and your story. I kind of went because, you know, originally I am from New York City, so I kind of was like downstate because I knew Schenectady, so I did shows out in Schenectady. I knew Rockland County because I lived out in Rockland County. 845, shout out Haverstraw, Spring Valley, Yanktown. You already know, but I kind of went that way, right? And I never even thought, like, even when it comes to like other cities, like I went to like Boston and like, you know what I mean, like all these other places, but like, you know how much further I probably would have been if I would have had the thought process to lock in with Rochester, Buffalo, just all across Binghamton. We did have a couple shows in Binghamton, so shout out Binghamton. And we talked about it. I was talking about it with the guest from Watertown, Eddie Cito, that these other cities don't get the recognition. It's so much other upstate New York cities outside of
the big four.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's why I say, like, you know, I have a big enough vision because I see it. So even though I'm also mentioning the same four, you'll hear me from time to time. I'll mention these other little spots as well because we all share the same shit. We've all been in the shadows. We all been overlooked. We all been slept on. We all been short of these opportunities. So for me to look down, like, prime example, I had to check somebody one time. You know, Utica is 315. So I had to check somebody one time, like, oh yeah, they ain't the real 315. I said, bro, we ain't doing that shit. I said, you sound just like motherfuckers in New York City saying we ain't real New York. Like, what's the difference, bro?
Right. We all New York.
We all, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not separating and segregating nothing in upstate. You know what I mean? Like, even to the point of technically Syracuse is not considered upstate. We're considered central New York. But fuck that. We upstate. I'm not dividing nothing because it's just stronger in numbers, bro. So, yeah, them brothers up in Watertown, I met an artist from Watertown in Rochester at one of the shows. You know what I'm saying? And walked up, spoke to him after he performed, talked to him, chopped it up, and we started building and networking. You know what I mean? But it takes for that, bro. Just like you just said, like, yo, damn, if I would have thought to go to Rochester, to go to Buffalo, or go here, go there, yeah, man, you know what I mean? But again, look at how everything turns around now. You got somebody from Buffalo coming to pull up to your podcast. You know what I mean? So now here it is. That's a bridge. That's a bridge of the gap. They following, they connecting. Now we on Buffalo radar. Like, oh shit, they doing it like that in Syracuse. Yeah, I need to pull up. I need to go sit down with the homie and do an interview. It's gonna be a flood, man.
So on TikTok, right? I definitely get a lot more engagement, a lot of one-on-one. But one subject that's blew up on my TikTok page was when I talked with Eddie Cito about upstate New York and the whole New York City thing, right?
Right.
So there's a guy on there, and I said, I was talking to him. I said, this is a valid question that he asked, and I said, I'm gonna bring it up in my next interview. So shout out Mr. Greasy on TikTok. He said that basically the whole state of New York wants to unify on this topic of New York City versus upstate New York. But he says when it comes to one city particular in upstate New York, who's messing with New York City?
One city in particular?
Yeah. So, Buffalo or Rochester or Syracuse, not together,
Right.
but individual. And then in that same token, should we then say the same thing for boroughs then?
That's what I was about to say. Shit, if you gonna throw it out there like that, like y'all not unified, like that don't even make sense. That's a rigged question. You talking about 5 boroughs, population, like the amount of fucking land mass it consumes, the amount of resources and shit. If we Google right now how many movies were shot in New York City alone, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of like a rigged question. Like, and I think that people from New York City, some people, I'm not gonna say all, but some people from New York City are so closed-minded and one-track-minded that they turn everything into a versus situation, because even down in the city, borough to borough, there's a versus thing going on. Bronx versus Harlem versus this, and Brooklyn versus da. So what New York City, this New York City mentality doesn't realize is this is the same reason why New York music wind up becoming the backseat and a laughing stock of the music game for damn near 20 years, because the over competitiveness. Motherfuckers wasn't collaborating with each other. Motherfuckers wasn't really working with each other. We looking at interviews with Locks and Styles is admitting that they was sending shots back and forth to each other, and we didn't even know the shit. Rough Riders was sending shots at Rockefeller. Rockefeller was sending shots back. And the whole time we listen to these classic albums and don't even know that these motherfuckers was like beefing with each other. So what New York City doesn't realize is this mentality of going against and oppose ain't did nothing but fucked us up. Period. Now, the South wind up taking a run, taking the music scene. It shift from the South, moved out west. So we get the YGs, the Kendrick Lamars, we get the Nipseys, we get all of that run, right? Then the shit is currently right now Midwest. So we got Chicago and we got Detroit, right? It's coming back east. It's no doubt about it that it's coming back east. This whole Special situation and Kiss situation, what people don't understand is deeper than a verse. It's about solidifying this region, because what will happen is it should have come back east and it'll be right back to businesses as it was, to where everybody is in the shadow of New York City, not just upstate. Jersey was in the shadow of New York City. Connecticut was in the shadow of New York City. Everybody was in the shadow of New York City. They bogarted. It's the Mecca. Most of the greatest artists, we're not knocking none of that shit. But at the same time, when it ran its course, there was nobody else to share the market share, because y'all hogged the shit. And then y'all couldn't even work together and stick together and do y'all destroyed your own shit. And the country niggas just took it over with strip clubs and lemon pepper wings, motherfucker. Fuck is we talking about? Y'all focus on the wrong shit. Instead of looking at it like these boys from upstate New York that's been fans of the music all this time. The War Report. Niggas grew up on that. Niggas grew up on the Infamous. Niggas grew up on Illmatic. Niggas grew up on all these classic albums. We ain't even gonna mention mixtapes. We grew up listening. This was a soundtrack. This was the voice. Because we didn't have a voice. Upstate ain't had no voice. So y'all was the voice for us. While y'all act like we ain't exist. But if you go and look through history, there's, again, Memphis Bleak got a story about Jay-Z and them coming to Syracuse in the 90s to do a show. And it was cold as fuck. Kiss just wore a shirt of the Hard Knock Life tour of the show that was in Rochester. They stopped in Rochester. Y'all been coming up here getting money.
Right.
And then boning out and acting like y'all don't know that we exist. So this time around, when the wave comes back east, because it's coming back east, y'all not acting like Upstate don't exist. Y'all not acting like, oh, hell, nah. Nah. Yeah, we here. Niggas is gonna respect our shit. We're actually gonna be because this is history.
Yeah.
10 years from now, 20 years from now, this time period will be history of what's going on in Upstate New York. So yeah, this time around, y'all not just pushing us to the back and pushing us to the side. And if anything, y'all should be happy. Y'all should be happy that this sound of music is coming back to the forefront and it's being popularized and it's being a thing. Instead of, oh, they ain't really New York, or we from the Bronx. We ain't never said we was from the Bronx. We ain't never said we was from Harlem. We said we was from Rochester, New York. We said we was from Troy, New York. We said we was from Syracuse, New York. We said we from Upstate New York. We know we not New York City. We live a slightly different lifestyle, bro. We the Bay. Y'all niggas is LA. That's all. They still California niggas.
Right.
They just slightly different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what is we really arguing? And it's the only motherfuckers arguing about this shit, not realizing they constantly sabotage their own fucking shit. And here it is again. The best thing for motherfuckers to do is have this ignorant ass conversation back and forth. Even with, how long it's been since the 70s, since the Knicks won a championship?
Yep.
The Knicks win a championship. These motherfuckers tell us we can't celebrate that because we ain't from New York City. Like, come on, man. Come on. My pops is a Knicks fan. My homie dog is a diehard Knicks fan. You know how much stress them niggas went through years?
Yo, Bronson spent time out here.
Come on, man. Like, is you serious? They can't celebrate the Knicks winning the chip because they not from New York City? Come on, man. The ignorance got to stop, man. This shit is it has done nothing but poison something that's great. You know what I mean? Yeah, the city is the pioneers for creating hip hop. They have done amazing shit over the years. Again, this music shaped us, grew us, but at the same time, they took it for granted. You know what I mean? And if they not careful, it'll happen again. It'll come and go real fast again. You know what I mean? So we all need to get past this. How could Syracuse measure up to Brooklyn with everything that Brooklyn has that a mid-sized city doesn't have? How could Rochester measure up to Queens with everything that Queens has? Like, we you already know y'all got an advantage based upon the resources and the shit that y'all got going on, this, that, and the third. But, let's talk about heart, though. Let's talk about heart. Let's talk about, what's in the core, what's in the center. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we the underdogs, bro. We got more to win. Y'all got more to lose. You gonna go up against a motherfucker that ain't got nothing to lose. We got everything to fucking gain. Cause again, motherfuckers don't know who we is. Motherfuckers, they're just now figuring this shit out. This whole shit with special kids, you best believe people around the world is like, okay, well, what the fuck is a Rochester?
Yeah.
What the fuck is a Syracuse? What the fuck? Like, okay, well, we know about Syracuse University, but we don't really know anything else about Syracuse. Well, we know about the Buffalo Bills, but we don't really know about, now they about to tap in. They about to see what's going on and realize that it's more than just New York City. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the whole conversation is just a disservice, bro. It's stupid. It's small-minded. niggas better wake up and see the motherfucking bigger picture. You know what I mean? Because again, it's coming back, but you know what we gonna do with it this time?
Yeah. And definitely what we need, you know, statewide is unity. But speaking of unity, let's talk about the showcase that you got coming up. What is it? August
22nd.
22nd?
Yeah, August 22nd. We got some real special shit going, man. Last show we had a special guest appearance. My little cousin, remember I was talking about my female cousin that taught me how to rap?
Mm-hmm.
Well, her son he raps as well. Thump is his father.
Oh, wow.
So he wound up pulling up to the show just to kind of, you know, see what was going on. And one of my homies get to talking to him. So I wound up telling him, like, yeah, you know, his moms used to rap. His moms was nice. I'm like, yo, you know who his pops is? Like, nah. I'm like, Thump. He like, oh, I know he nice as fuck. I want him rap. And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm like, shit, I would try to get him on one of the showcases. Little cuz, like, yo, I'm ready to go right now. I'm like, you ready to go right now? I'm like, shit, I throw you in real quick, out, whatever. So he wound up jumping up doing this thing. He's on this showcase. If you look at the list, it says Prince of Dozer. That's him. The homie Swerve, Big Swerve, coming out of retirement for this show. I've been on his ass since I started the shows. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, this show gonna be pretty dope. We got Double O coming. You know, I look at them like the Syracuse Wu-Tang because there's so many of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, the show gonna be something special, man. August 22nd. Also to plug August 29th. I know EB and Swirly, you know, gonna do some monumental shit, some big shit that night. But during the daytime, on the same day from I think 3 to 8, we doing a community give back cookout for the kids at McKinley Park. Book bag giveaway. This would be like the 3rd year that we do this shit. So I also want to plug that, you know what I mean, for the people to bring their kids to come get food. It'd be games and shit. And of course, we're giving away free book bags for the school year. So that's the same day as the big show, the big verses between EB and Swirly. So, you know, come out and fuck with it.
All right, so let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, MAF_FOGMG. Same thing on Twitter. Mob Stinson on Facebook. All the music, I'm on every platform that you could think of. Mafiosa, that's with an A at the end. Yeah, man, tap in. New project coming. Got a new project called Dope on the Table. Yeah, man, back on your ass, man. You know, I took a few years off to be dad, you know what I mean? Did the little dad thing, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to give my kids 2 years, you know what I mean? It's just dad. So it was my son, which was playing, and my daughter wound up creeping up on us. So 2 turned into 3 years. But yeah, she just turned 2 in July 15th. So
A blessing.
yeah, I'm here to fuck some shit up and get a few parking tickets.
All right, it's Mob.